Aside from the entertainment value that we all get watching Jim Cramer bark at the moon on TV, what do you think he wants his audience to get out of watching Mad Money?
I happen to know that he has that answer, Pam. Joining us from the CNBC studios is Jim Cramer.
Well, Jim, all the hype aside, what do you really want your audience to take away?
Great question. I think what people are going to walk away with this is that I knew nothing. Cramer is making it interesting. I find that this show is about feeling okay to start the process of owning a stock. But it is definitely not a panacea. You can't just go buy, well, Cramer recommends that you buy Verizon, and I'm just going to go with Verizon and forget about it, because I never believed that. But what I'm most proud about with this show is the younger person, I think, is finally getting someone to tell them, you can figure this out. I have to have bells and whistles. I have to do funny things. I have to bring them in. I am shameless about that. I know that hurts me with the journalist intelligentsia. I don't care. I know the average person's watching the show, and of that I'm quite proud.
So you're not suggesting that I follow your recommendations with my kid's inheritance?
You don't even touch my stuff until after you've paid down your 401k or your IRA and bought a house and paid down on your credit card. Once you're through with all four of those, then I am willing to help you with a discretionary portfolio. If you're doing anything else with my stuff, you're misusing it.
So it seems like we're all saying the same thing, which is don't put your money on just one horse or 3 or 4 or 5. Bet on the whole race. And then once you've done that, then we can go play with Cramer, right?
You have to understand that this game is too hard. Most people can't do the homework. Most people don't have the inclination. Most people think they can pick stocks. They can watch my show and just buy it. All these things are false.
Now, Jim, your time frame for owning these stocks is pretty short. What, a year or two?
What I tell people is I want you to buy in stages going lower, and I want you to sell in stages going up, so that if you're up 40% within a week, I mean, come on, you're being a pig, and I don't really care about the time frame. However, as it goes lower, you can use the market, for instance, as long as the story keeps checking out, to accumulate a larger position.
Okay, but we know from after-hours trading that your fans are jumping on your tips the very same day that the show airs. So I wonder how much homework they're really doing.
I tell people that if you have the time and inclination, you should spend 1 hour per week per position knowing everything. Hence why I think that a 5-stock portfolio among 5 different areas is acceptable.
But realistically, you think that's the case?
I don't think everyone does have the time or inclination, which tells me, listen, don't be afraid to say, I got to give it to a financial planner, advisor, but I will at least learn enough to keep them honest.
Well, Jim, let's pretend you only had one more chance to get your message out on the air. And what would be your most important message to your viewers?
Vast majority of you can be entertained by my show, but for the most part, it's going to be too hard because you do not have the time and inclination. Know thyself. If you have the time and inclination, welcome aboard. If you don't, I can promise you, you will not do well.
Wow, you're actually pretty mellow here, Jim. We didn't get you out of bed, did we?
Jack, when you've been up for 36 straight hours, as I have, as I try to do at least once a week, this is what you get.
Well, if that's the case, I'm gonna try to get to bed early tonight.
Hey, listen, between the race going on behind us right now and Jim Cramer, I'm telling you, I'm all revved up.
That's Jim Cramer straight from his Mad Money show. Booyah to you, Jim. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Jim. Is investing in the stock market the same as betting on the horses, where all you need are some hot tips and you're off and running?
2 of Wall Street's best-known sages tell the truth about how to win the race to riches. That's next on Money Track.